The cool air of the early summer night rushed through the passenger window as the red Chevy Malibu sped down the open highway. Haley and her best friend Melissa had finally graduated 2 weeks earlier and were ready for the best summer of their lives. Parties, beach trips, summer flings before college, gorgeous tans, everything in the book. It was 10:30 and the two friends were heading to Mike Peters' grad party to have some real fun. Many of her other friends had asked Haley why she even came to parties if she didn't have as much fun as everyone else. Her quiet reply was always, "For Melissa." After all, who would drive passed out drunk, puke-covered Melissa home other than Haley? Certainly not Nick. Melissa's iPhone 5 suddenly vibrated in the console, breaking Haley's reverie. The lit-up screen read a message from Nick, and Haley rolled her eyes in disgust. As always, Haley got a nervous pit in her stomach as Melissa typed out a message to Nick. It didn't make her nervous that she was talking to him. No, Haley had grown used to that. It was the fact that she took her attention away from driving to answer a stupid text. It scared the crap out of her, to be honest. By that time, texting and driving had become a huge awareness thing, just as big as drinking and driving, if not bigger. So many kids in Haley's school got away with it unscathed. They did it all the time, of course. But so many elsewhere didn't. "Melissa, do you really have to text him while you're driving? It can wait." "Just hold on, I have to send him a quick message and then I'm done, I swear." Haley just shook her head as she stared at the road in front of them, making sure that Melissa didn't drive into the other lane or hit a deer or something. About 30 seconds later, Haley heard the clunk of Melissa's phone hitting the console. "Thank you," Haley said quietly. Melissa reached over and cranked up the already blaring music, making it perfectly clear that she was done talking. They drove the rest of the way without conversing, just staring straight ahead. Haley was glad when they arrived. Now she could blow off some steam and hang out with some of her other friends. "Hey," Melissa said while slamming the door. "Come find me when you're ready to get out of here." Haley couldn't understand Melissa at all anymore. All she wanted to do was talk to her boyfriend. It was almost as if nothing even mattered anymore except him. It was all Nick, Nick, Nick. No Haley, no family, just him. Haley wondered if maybe this was just a phase that everyone went through when they began dating seriously. Haley looked to her left, and standing there was a tall, brown-haired guy with his hands in his pockets. "Do you want a drink?" Jared asked her, gesturing towards the big cooler by one of the benches. "No thanks," Haley said, smiling. "I just want to stay sober tonight." "Sounds good to me too," Jared said with a crooked smile and sat down on the cool grass. "So if you don't mind my asking, what are you doing here? You don't seem like the type of girl to go wild and party," Jared commented, gazing into the fire. Unlike all of the other times someone asked her this, Haley hesitated. Did Melissa really need her? A few minutes later, she found the car and saw that Melissa was already inside. Haley cautiously opened the door and climbed in. Melissa was just sitting there, staring straight ahead, in silence. "Melissa?" Haley asked gently. "Melissa, are you okay?" Melissa said nothing as she gunned the engine and put the car in reverse. She numbly pulled onto the road and started to drive. Suddenly, Melissa's phone vibrated in its usual spot in the console. "Melissa, don't you dare answer it. You're too upset right now. Wait until we get to my house," Haley warned, looking at Melissa. "No, you don't understand, Haley. I need to answer it. He could be apologizing and wanting me back," Melissa sobbed hysterically. "Melissa, I swear to God, do not pick up that phone. Don't you dare." "I have to answer it, Haley. I have to." "Fine, then. Stop the car and let me get out." But Melissa didn't stop the car. What she did do was grab her phone and open Nick's text message and sob. "Melissa, so help me God, you better stop this car." But Melissa didn't listen. She stared down at her phone and typed away. "Melissa, stop the damn car!" Haley screamed. But Melissa didn't hear her. She just kept typing. "Melissa, look out!" But Melissa didn't look out. And everything went black. State Policeman Eric Schaefer had seen many accidents, even at 28 years old. They were always hard, especially when it came to breaking the horrible, devastating news to the families or loved ones. It pained him every time to see the look on the mother's or husband's or father's or whoever's face. Eric pulled onto the scene in his police cruiser and cut the engine. He took his ritual cleansing breath and stepped out, not really sure if he was ready to face what he was about to see. Off the bank and a little ways into the woods sat a mutilated Chevy Malibu, smashed against a tree. He hated seeing this happen to people, especially young people. Within minutes, the doors were off and the firemen carefully removed the bodies from the front seat and put them on stretchers. Eric made his way over and discovered that they were both young girls, no older than 18. He swallowed the lump in his throat as he took it all in. Clutched in the blonde girl's hand was her cell phone, and Eric instantly had a guess at what happened. It didn't take long for the coroner to arrive to tell them all that the girls died on impact. The chief of police gave orders to search the crime scene for ID and anything else to identify the bodies. Eric walked to the mess of the car and climbed in the front seat. Inside were the girls' purses. Bingo. Inside was some makeup, a few packs of gum, some receipts, and underneath it all, a wallet. Eric pulled it out and unsnapped it, instantly focusing on the driver's license. The name read Melissa Jane Allyn and pictured a pretty girl with shiny blonde hair. He slipped the wallet back inside the handbag and moved on to the second one, a black leather with fringe. Eric peered inside and found the wallet easily. He unzipped it and took out the driver's license. This one was of a curly brown-haired girl with the name of Haley Renee Manning. Eric noticed that both girls were only 18. "How about you and Reed go break the news to the parents?" Garrett concluded softly. Eric nodded silently as he took the piece of paper from Garrett. To him, this was the worst part of being a cop, telling families that their children or husbands were dead. It was impossible to express how sorry you really were when the mothers or wives crumpled to the ground in sobs or thudded against the door to keep from falling. Eric exhaled heavily and found Reed speaking quietly with the paramedic. "Are you ready for this?" Reed asked, scratching his head. "I don't think I'll ever be, Reed." He turned the ignition with dread, knowing what was about to come.